Hey there, lads and lasses. This here is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States on a Wednesday afternoon. That can only mean that it's time for some Generations of Minecraft, sir. A little belt on my Guinness here. Okay. So here's what I have planned for today. If you guys can see the go live notification or the stream title, or what am I trying to say? Yeah, go live notification. It should say Thunderhand is live with some BZR. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on Baby Zombie Rush today. And here's what I'm thinking. My original plan, which I've been saying, for the last 4 weeks now? I think that constitutes a month. I'm not sure. Was to download and set up Lightmatica and then copy Baby Zombie Rush from the old test world into the new test world. And while I was setting up to do that today, I got to thinking, Baby Zombie Rush is far along enough now where perhaps we should just start building it. Really, it's one or two features away from being complete. But I think we should just start building it, right? And so with that in mind, I've come to a couple of conclusions about that. Originally, I was going to when I'm done in the design mode in the creative test world, I was then going to copy that over, build it in the survival generations map in that world. But now that I got to thinking about that, especially within this last year, I'm really thinking I should give Baby Zombie Rush its own map. Really. It should have its own map. And some of the ideas I have for it going along, and we'll discuss these throughout the stream, but would be to have seasons where I have a different configuration of the game for each season. How many seasons a year? I don't know. At least one. But I'm thinking if I have a contestant and they participate once in that season, they have to wait a whole nother year before they can test again, before they can participate again. And I think that's too long. Also, I'm thinking maybe at the end of the season then, maybe we'll have some sort of event where we bring back all the contestants, although that would be really, really hard to do. And hard to do in that, getting everybody's schedules. That's what the thing is. It's not so much getting people to participate. I've already had a lot of offers from people to come in and run it. And but if I were going to do like a season finale kind of thing where I bring everybody back on, which would be super cool to do, but it would be really hard. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off. But those are the lines along which I'm thinking. I'm going to make 3 copies of the first configuration of it. That way, the contestant has 3 tries, 3 attempts. And the reason why I'm doing 3 copies is that way I don't have to go throughout the game and reset everything when they want their second and then their third attempt. So if I just make 3 copies and they die or they complete that attempt and they want to go on to the next one, they just move over to a copy that's already loaded up and ready to go and kind of keep things moving. That's what I would like to try to do. And then I'm thinking each contestant participates once during the season. That way they don't get to learn the map, the configuration, and so each season will have a different configuration. But again, I don't know. Stream sniping is something I'm a little concerned with. Like, I'll have a contestant watching another contestant on the stream, and from there they learn the configuration, so they'll go in and have it. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So maybe I'm thinking each season I'll start the first season with 3 configurations. And we'll have some random way of selecting which configuration a contestant gets. That way, even if they watch all three, it's going to be difficult for them to learn all three, I think. And, it's not a super serious game, or anything. So, if somebody does figure out how to play it or something, and, it's not that, win it, I mean, and they watch streams and they memorize it or something. If you're really going through that much, probably just to jump in there and have some fun, it's like, I guess I should be kind of flattered with that in a way. Yeah, it's not going to be completely 100% cheat proof, but it will be one of those things that I'll learn as we go along, and I'll see how people react and how, people react to it. I'll watch them perform, and that'll because one thing I'm really not good at is predicting human nature. I'm very, very bad at that. I'm thinking, okay, when the contestant drops in the map, they're likely going to do one of these three things, and then they do something completely unexpected that I would have never foreseen, right? And so, I expect a lot of that to happen, right? So, anyways, let's get talking while we're going on. One of the first thing I want to do is, since we're going to build Baby Zombie Rush in its own world, is choose the world, choose the seed. And the way I do this is I just go into Chunkbase and I pull up random seeds and I see something that catches my eye. Now, this is going to be very cool because this is going to remind me of my first Generations 5 stream way back in October of 2020. This was my first stream for that Generations 5 map, was scrolling through Chunkbase and the viewers and I reviewing maps and then choosing a map. And I ultimately wound up using a map that a viewer suggested the seed for, and I believe that viewer's name was something like Stone Blood Gun or something like that. It was very cool. Very cool if that person does suggest the seed. And that is the current seed and has been the seed for Generations for about 4 years now. And it's still the best seed I've ever played on in Minecraft. Still to this day. But let's open up Chunkbase. Let's go over to the display scene. Okay, there we are. All right. So some of you may be familiar with Chunkbase. Yeah, you can see I was already there today. So Chunkbase is a service. I'll put the link in the VOD description for the YouTube archive anyway. But you guys can see www.chunkbase.com. This is a service provided for Minecrafters. It's totally free. And it deals mostly with maps and shows you things like, if you want, you can see slime chunks, villages, where they are, where dungeons are located, where a stronghold would be. You can choose to look at these things or not, right? Today, I don't think any of that stuff will be necessary. Let's do this. Apps, chunk finders, more apps. Seed map is the one that I'm looking for. Let's get the ad out of the way here. There we go. All right, so it's important we have a Java 1.21 selected. I'm going to build this in the overworld. I was thinking, maybe we should use other dimensions, like build it in the end. Maybe that would be cool because you would have the black sky and, it may be difficult to orientate yourself or whatnot. It might be cool to build it in the end, but the very first thing I thought of is, dealing with the Enderman spawning everywhere, right? Maybe cool, maybe a cool challenge to add to the map, just random Enderman spawning. But I don't know. And sure, I could put some sort of spawn repression command in there to not spawn Endermen or whatever I could do. But I was thinking, nah, maybe I shouldn't use the end. And I certainly shouldn't use the nether. So, you know what? Let's just stick with the overworld. So, we have an overworld map here. So the only features I'm really concerned with are, I just want to see the biomes and the spawn area just so I can keep the map centered. But these other things, show me these other things like slime chunk, village. I don't need to see where all this stuff is, right? You know, you have pillager outposts, things like that, right? Ruined portals. What's this? Witch hut. Okay, yeah. And you can go and shut this stuff off. One thing I'm going to leave on is ravines, though, and maybe caves, because those are like geological formations and stuff. I'll leave those on. Stronghold. Well, I don't know. Maybe caves would be a little too distracting, so maybe not. Maybe just ravines. And if these wind up being distracting, I'll turn these off as well. All right, so we can do that. All right, let's get this centered. Okay, so you can see where the little compass is. That's the center of the world that spawned. I'm not really too concerned with that because I can move that at any time. All right. Also, I just want to double check the sound here. Hold on. All right, voice is coming through. Stream music is coming through. So we're doing good. All right. Okay, good. These ads run down below here, but they're muted, so that's good by default. All right, and hopefully you guys can see this up here. I guess my webcam window right around here isn't blocking it, so that's good. I can also make this bigger if I have to. All right, so you can either enter a seed in here and it'll show you a biome map of that, or you can hit this random button and you can see it'll just generate a random seed. Now, I'd like to zoom out of this a little bit so I can get more of the world. Right there. And what I'm thinking is, I should adjust this camera a little bit. There we go. What I'm thinking is looking for a large mushroom island. Now, this isn't super critical because I can, in the map, I can change the biome. In this Baby Zombie Rush map, I'm also going to be using World Edit. I'm going to be using Lightmatica. I'm going to be in creative mode. So this is not a survival world situation. Baby Zombie Rush is not a survival world situation. It'll be set to survival when the contestant is running the maze, absolutely. But as far as building and stuff is concerned, no. And I don't feel that's cheaty at all. I'm doing an event, a game, a kind of thing. This is standard for that. And, you know, my survival chops and honor and everything I think is very well preserved with Generations and Buffooncraft. So I think I'm good there. Okay. So I'm just going to start scrolling through the maps. And by the way, if you happen to be viewing right now and you want to do this with me, you can open up Chunkbase and set this in the same kind of way. And if you think you would see a seed that I'd be interested in, you can type the... That's weird. Why do I not have the chat up in the window? Because I have it minimized over on this side. There we go. Okay. Yeah, sorry. You can put the you can put the seed in the chat, and then I'll if I'm interested, I'll check it out. All right. So you could just keep hitting random like this, and look at the size of that. Of that island. That is really huge. You know what I should do though is I should make a measurement of how big the Baby Zombie Rush mock-up is currently. And so maybe I'll crack open Minecraft and take some measurements. Good Lord. J-Mo the Schmo himself. Yo, my friend. Yo, yourself. How are you doing? J-Mo, this brings back memories, dude. How are you doing over there, neighbor? you guys can see the auto shout out for JMO the Schmo, who really needs no introduction. Doing well. How's everything? Excellent. Excellent. Thanks. It's darn hot out there, but that's life where we're at, right? But we've been doing things like we just took a trip to Taiwan. Then we had some of our friends from Taiwan come over here, and they were with us for weeks and stuff. And so we've been very, very busy. But things are starting to settle down. We have a little bit of lull before school starts, and my younger son Kachi's back to school, and we have all that stuff fires up again. But other than that, we're enjoying the lull. Busy at work, as you can imagine. Yes. Awesome. So fun to travel. Yeah, we do the Taiwan trip every year now. I used to do it every other year when I was working at the school, but when I resigned from the school in 2021, now I go every year with them. So because my wife is from there, she likes to spend some time with her family and back at her home, so we go there every year. And this year was certainly no exception. Although it's kind of tough because we have to go there in the summertime, because each of my sons, my older son's university and my younger son's school schedules, their spring breaks do not line up. So we can't go during spring like we used to. Now we have to go there in the summer. It is absolutely brutal. But yeah, you must be a very busy man. For those of you who may not know, it is fire season in Southern California. It's probably always fire season in California, but this is the particularly worst part of that. And there is somebody I have not seen in a long time as well, who I was just looking at I just noticed was in attendance in Cheska's stream. As I was setting up and everything, I'm lurking in Cheska's stream, and I'm like, Nebula's there. Nebs! Wow, this is like a blast from the past. It isn't like a blast from the past. It is. How you doing, Nebs? I am back and is alive. Thank goodness. I misses you, Thunder. Nebs, I think we can speak. I can speak for everybody here. We have missed you incredibly. I'm sure you've had your reasons for dropping out of the Twitch social life and stuff for whatever you did, but I am very, very happy to see you back. And let me see. Yes, okay. Just making sure that the auto shout out is still up to date, and the mighty Real Foolish Sage over there on the Emerald Isle. So what a crew that we have chiming in right now. Super awesome folks. And what am I doing to deserve this? I'm scrolling through maps on Chunkbase. I need a break from it. All anxiety was kicking my butt. And I was feeling too much, but things are getting back to normal. I am very, very glad to hear it. The A-team is here. I love it when a plan comes together. Where's my cigar? Actor George Papard. Okay, let me see. So I'm just scrolling through to try to get ideas for maps for the Baby Zombie Rush game, in which I would like to build that game. And, I don't necessarily have to do this chunk-based scrolling thing but I kind of like doing it. Also, let me see. I need to take some... So what's going on in Chunkbase? Just that. Choosing a map for Baby Zombie Rush. I'm going to start building it, so... but I do have to take some measurements for Baby Zombie Rush, which means I have to open that in Minecraft on the streaming PC, which is going to be tough. Let's see if I can do it. Meaning, let's see if this PC will be able to handle it, because this is my older PC. So, not only that, but I haven't opened up Minecraft on this PC in quite some time. So some of you may be aware I have two PCs, right? I have PC 1, which I stream from and do all the grunt work on PC1. That's the older PC, Windows 10 and all that. And then PC2 is the one I actually run Minecraft on and Video Ninja. And so I'm, I screen share PC2 onto PC1, and that's how I do it. Right, so, all right, let's take a look. See what's going on with, oh, you know what we can do? We can do this. Let's shut down the CPU hog that is Discord. Definitely. And I shall bring the crafting of mines down here onto the other display. You can't see it right yet, but let me fire it up and then I'll switch screens. And there he is, that other fellow buffoon and that other moderator of the stream, Mr. Shut Mountain himself. Look at this crew that is gathering in on the Generations BZR stream. Look at this. Wow. I really don't deserve this. All right. You guys can see, where's my other display? Let's do this. I shall minimize all of that. Oh, Minecraft is trying to pop up right now. Minecraft is doing the struggling. All right. While it's doing that, let's switch back to the other display. Okay. Maybe not. Oh, that's why, because it's going full screen. Let's F11 out of there. Oh, it doesn't want to do that. Okay, let's Windows out of there. Windows tab out. There we go. I should be able to F11 out and drag it off the screen. There we go. And I can put that down here. There. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. You are always deserving, and don't you forget it. Okay? All right. I yield, sir. Multiplayer, no. Single player, yes. Okay, here's the old test world. Hopefully the CPU can handle this and PC1 will not explode when I load this up. Oh, wait. This is the new test world that has yet to be populated. Oh, you know what that means? That means I can look at the current test world on PC2. Right. Okay. Right, so just a quick recap. I was going to use Lightmatica and copy Baby Zombie Rush, the prototype, back into this new test world. But then I decided, you know what? We're far enough along with that, and let's just start building it. So let's get out of that. Let me see. So that means I have to switch the map over. So allow me to do that. Let's get out of Discord. There we go. Let's turn off that. And let's go over to Shockbite. And just give me a sec here to switch over the maps, because I thought that I had the old test world loaded onto this PC and I didn't. That means it's still up. Sharkbite info. Right here. By the way, Kachi and I still have every intention on doing our Chinese-speaking Minecraft stream. When we're going to do that, I'm not sure. But we are preparing our cheat sheet, which I'm going to need probably more than he is. Oh, you know what? We actually can't do that. Shockbite has relocated all of their servers. And that means new server IP. That needs all kinds of changes. For which I am not prepared. I wonder if my current generations will launch. Probably not. Because I think I have a new IP for the server. Let's try it out. Let's see what's going to happen. Because I may need to reconfigure this stuff. And if that's the case, you know, I'll just choose the C today. So, if you aren't prepared, then you aren't a hyena. Oops. What am I missing there? Why am I missing that reference? Yeah, see, okay. Yeah, I forgot. I need to reconfigure all of that. Lion King, yeah. Sorry, Nebula, I do not have the Lion King memorized. So let's see about. Let me see. Can I expand this? Is that what that means? Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, it doesn't have to be that much. The only thing about expanding it is this. Internet connection makes it very, very slow. And for some reason, I seem to have lost the spawn point when I expanded it. So let's collapse it. Let's unexpand it. However that's done. Down here, collapse. What's this? Okay, here we go. Add an add here. I haven't used Chunkbase in quite a while, as you can see. Okay, there's the center. Okay, that's cool. All right, now if I expand it. Oh, okay, that's kind of weird. It won't give us the center. I don't like the expanded thing anyway. It's driving me nuts already. I don't like this regeneration each time. We're going to be scrolling through maps. Can you imagine having to do this every time? Not cool. Yeah, I'd really rather not have that ad going. Thank you. There we go. And let me see. Let's take off the ravines too. That's kind of distracting. There we go. And just hit random. I can scroll out on this. There's the center of the map like that. And you know what? I think this is going to have to do. Maybe I could also do this too. And I'll put that somewhere around here. I think is the way to go with that. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking with Baby Zombie Rush. I said so at the during the webcam scene at the beginning of the stream. I'm thinking on starting with 3 different configurations of the game. I'm going to do that, and so it'll have its own world. There'll be 3 different configurations. There'll be 3 copies of each configuration. That way the contestant has 3 tries to get it right. Not to get it right, but 3 attempts to run the maze. And so say they run the maze the first time, and they either die or they complete the maze and they want to do the second and third runs. They're teleported over to the next copy. That way I don't have to do a long reset of all of the devices inside each game. You know, they can just go to a copy that's already set to go, and it'll keep the event moving along. So we can do that. So I would like to have a world on which we could build that kind of stuff. And so I'm also here to discuss with viewers, you know, ideas about that. Like I was thinking, maybe I should build that on a super flat world, because it's just, you know, we're going to have world edit. We're going to have Lightmatica. We're going to be in creative mode, not during the actual contestant event, but for building and modifying and stuff. So the features of the map, I guess, don't really matter, right? I was thinking on making a big enough, starting off with a big enough Mushroom Island, but also I can make Mushroom Island biomes, right? I can declare that, right, inside creative mode, right? And so I can go in there and I can just select out areas of the map and I can change the biome, right? We've done that on Generations. So, but I'm just looking at interesting kind of features here and trying to get some sizes and stuff. And like I said, you know, if you want to open up Chunk Base on your own and go through the seeds here, if you think you have an interesting seed, you can also suggest that and put that in the map. I'll type it in and I'll check it out, definitely. I don't know how many of those I'll check out, but maybe, you know, I'll try out a few of them. But something like this, I'm trying to get an idea. You can look at the scale here and just do a little bit of arithmetic and get an idea. Like, I'm thinking, much like the Generations map, I'm thinking of a huge body of water with islands dotted about it. And maybe this island will have one configuration with its 3 copies, and then a nearby island will have its configuration with its 3 copies, and so on. And you could just move about the map like that, right? And so I'm thinking of maybe one big ocean area, maybe around spawn, but, you know, we can always move spawn if we have to. So you want a giant mushroom island, do you? Try this one. Maybe. Well, not maybe. We'll definitely try it, but we'll see. I'm actually more concerned with the big body of water than I am with the Mushroom Island itself. But let's definitely check out. Let's try out that seed anyway. Now, since I'm on the other PC, I can't just copy and paste it. That's my current seed. You know, I think I remember that. I think you might have invited me on to see that. But anyways, and make sure I get this right. This looks like, I'm just going to take it in 3 digits at a time. 630. It looks like 290. It looks like 754. Yeah, it looks like 766. 181. And 303. You can see why I'm not going to take too many of these requests because it'll take me forever to do this. All right, now see if this looks familiar to you because I might have mistyped that. But is this your big mushroom island? Yep, that's it. All right, so let's just take some quick numbers here. I'm just going to roughly say that this is about 600. And I'm going to say this over here is, let's just round this to 2,000. All right, so that's going to be 1.4 kilometers wide. That's big. That is big. I think Baby Zombie Rush might be 9 chunks in its current configuration. So that's going to be what? 270. Okay, yeah. All right, so that would definitely fit on there. That would definitely fit on there. And the way I'm thinking of configuring it is to have, well, I can configure it in a lot of different ways. I can have copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, and then some sort of spawn event area, right, where we can teleport in and out of and whatnot. And so we can set them up in a line. We can set them up in like a 2x2 array where the first one is the event area, and then the other 3 quadrants are going to be the game. We can set it up in several configurations. So, but this one, like I said, if one configuration of the map is here, maybe I could fit another one there. It certainly looks like there's enough mushroom islands out there. Like I could put one here. Some of these are a little bit smaller, like this one. But this one looks pretty cool. This one's pretty big too. Some of the other things I was thinking of was something like this too. Right? Where you can put one here and one here, one here. If you have little mushroom islands, you can scatter them. But you also have to remember that some of these are submerged, even though it shows them, right? These are just the biomes. Some of these are underwater, but it's World Edit. You can build them up and raise them up and stuff like that. So, by the way, where is Discord? Let's open up Discord here. Let's go here and let's go here. So there is a channel on our Discord, our community Discord, called right here, Baby Zombie Rush Brainstorming. And you can put down your ideas for Baby Zombie Rush. I'll always be putting down my ideas for Baby Zombie Rush in here. If you have seeds that you want to offer for us to check out, you can type them in here so I don't forget them, all right? The good thing is I have the VOD, and I save all my VODs, so I can always go back and check the VOD and find out what seed that this person or that person suggested. But you can always type them in here as well, as well as your other ideas for the game. Again, I don't promise that I'll always use an idea, but I'll always read them. I'll always read them. And, your idea or this idea or that idea may not be the idea I'm looking for, but it may spawn another idea that I wasn't thinking of. So that's why I make sure I read all of them, right? Even if I decide not to use it, it may make me think of something else, right? Or I may use part of it or something, right? So also, we're going to have to discuss the gameplay structure and rules and things like that. So I love this seed. It's my fave. Yeah, it's super cool when you get a seed like that, isn't it? Like my current generation's World 5 seed is my favorite Minecraft map I've ever played on. It is just so cool. And this is Neb's favorite right here. What have you got going on here? Looks like you've got a Badlands here. Snowy plains and stuff over here. Yeah. Savannah around you. So one thing I would like to avoid, though, is an ocean area that is frozen ocean. Like Nebs doesn't have any around here. But if we, I wouldn't want to build like Baby Zombie Rush in this place. Even though I have World Edit and all of that, I think it's just a pain, right? Like if I was going to use, like I wouldn't want to use these mushroom biomes in this frozen ocean area. So I'd like to avoid the frozen oceans. Like Nebs' area over here is in a nice ocean area right here. That's good. This area I was looking for, we're getting a little close with that, right? But we have some of this stuff. I mean, it's got plenty of mushroom islands dotted throughout this map. We may wind up using this one. But I promise you, Nebs, though, it's not going to look anything like your current map. So if any of you are concerned with, hey, when Nebs goes to take the run, if she ever does, she's already going to know she's going to have an advantage. No, she won't. No, she won't. I always think, I always try to outthink the players, right? And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be too easy for them. They'll be able to cheat on this. They'll be able to cheat on that. Nah. When you're in the maze and you're running from your life from a bloodthirsty horde of baby zombies, there ain't no time for that. There isn't. But I don't know. Some of you are very, very clever. All right, so I just want to make sure I pause on the seed number here, just in case I want to go back and reference this. All right. And I'd like to collapse that to get the randomizing button a little bit closer. I think I can F11 this as well. There we go. Now I can fit a little bit more of this in the screen like that. That's better. Okay. You guys can see some of this is, or some of that is blocking the map a little bit, but I think we'll be okay here. All right. Let's look at some other maps too. And I'll make sure that I pause on the seed numbers when we see something really interesting. Something really interesting would be like a huge ocean area, a really, really big one, right? That would be really interesting. That's the least interesting. Ocean area, but it's frozen. No thanks. It's getting a little better. And remember, this lighter blue is warm ocean. So that's cool stuff. You know how I am with my mushroom islands. They're my fave biome, and I have them even more when they're giant. Oh, and I love them even more. Sorry, old man with the eyes here. Thunder, I put in the Beep Zero. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Always love the Discord participation. Again, this stuff isn't super, super critical. I can change biomes, right? And I'll be using World Edit as well. So. And of course, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I was thinking on doing things like building this in the end. But I decided, no, Overworld is good enough for this. I'm not saying I'll never do a configuration in the end, but right now I don't think I'm really interested in that. Something like this ocean up here is pretty interesting. But, as I scroll through these maps, I was doing this a little bit earlier too. You guys could see I already had chunk base loaded up in the, or typed out in the search bar. But I'm wondering if there's limits on biome sizes, if there's constraints on those. Like, I'm not really seeing any mushroom islands that are 2 kilometers in width or length or anything. I'm seeing always less than 2. Greater than, in fact, the limit's like about 1.5 or so. I've seen it approach to like 1.8 kilometers, but I've yet to see any that are really, really massive. And I'm noticing that with the oceans too. The oceans right now, they all appear to be pretty small. Now, small, we're talking about like maybe this is negative, let's say 2,500 right here. And then if I go across the X, this is going to be about positive 20. That's like 5 kilometers wide. In Minecraft, that's pretty big. But if I could have a very, very big spawn ocean that isn't frozen, you know, I think that would be a really cool place to a really cool map. Again, you know, I can make that world edit and stuff, but it would be easier if we just had the map. Besides, I just like scrolling through maps. It's fun to look at the biomes and the configurations. Yeah, here we've got a mesa surrounding a big ocean, a big warm ocean. Maybe. This is good because it has a lot of oceans, even though neither one of them is particularly big. Some of them are long. These ones are kind of big. And notice each ocean has a mushroom island system in it. And this one's frozen, though. But also, you know, we can pan around the map and see if different areas of the map offer anything that's really cool looking. But you'll see the distribution of biomes is pretty regular, pretty consistent. This is kind of cool, this big S ocean system here. You've got some systems there. I mean, that is a pretty big mushroom island right there. But you can see the distribution of water systems here. They're pretty similar. They may look random when you're down there in the world itself, but when you start to see on a larger scale like this, yeah, like I'm not seeing any huge patches of water. You know, they're all pretty consistent. Which, you know, dear Mojang, that's a little dull. This is kind of big. Even though it's stretched out in different directions, that's kind of big. This system here is kind of big. In fact, you know what? I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I think I'm kind of deceiving myself about the size of some of these bodies of water here. All right, let's go back to 0, 0. Like this, for example, you know, there are quite a few rather large bodies of water here, right? This one over here is, you know, catching my eye right here. These two in particular, right? And then maybe this one. So I could build a configuration with its 3 copies here. I could build a configuration with its 3 copies here, and then another one here, right? And they're all relatively close to each other, right? So I think those are some considerations. Like now this one, folks, has some potential. Look at this. For example, the spawn is right here. If I didn't move the spawn, I have a chunk of land to build some sort of event structure on. And then I could put 3 configurations. I could put the configuration 1 with its 3 copies here. I can put a configuration here with 3 copies. I could put another one here. Even though there's no mushroom biome things, I could always make one there. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. Let's focus on the seed for this one. Let me pause and get the seed in here so I can make sure that I look back at this later. Also, enough of you have seen the Baby Zombie Rush game now, and how and some of the game mechanics and some of the ideas we've had for it. We should be, let me know if you have any concerns or considerations, things I should be considering that I may not be. Like players, for example, can pull up the debug screen. Will that help at all in the game or not? Like, does that completely neutralize the game or not? I don't think it does. I don't think anybody's really going to have time to be looking at coordinates and trying to read them. Also, when I have the player in the game, there'll be no mods, no resource packs, nothing like that allowed, so it'll be straight up vanilla for them. So, but if there's any considerations like that, and again, even if you think about them later, you can always put them in the Discord. I am worried about baby zombies. They are terrifying. The thing about baby zombies that I think enhances the comedy of them is they're both terrifying and adorable at the same time. It's that dichotomy, that juxtaposition. Adventure mode, maybe. I don't think I've ever played adventure mode once. Been playing since 2013. So Nebs, elaborate, please. Even though I know it's quite a bit of typing, and I apologize for it. They will kill you without remorse. But make you feel bad for killing them back. Yeah. I think that's probably the most disturbing thing about them is that they're benign. They're not. They're like a force of nature, right? They're not evil or anything. They just do their thing, which just happens to be killing you, right? They cannot be reasoned with. You cannot bribe them with candy or video games or anything. They just kill. That's what they do. And they're so adorable while they do it. This one's a little bit interesting. I've got 3 bodies of water here with 3 mushroom biomes here, so not too far from spawn. But remember, I can move spawn too. So if I zoom out a little bit and pan around, yeah, okay. It's like survival, but you can't break blocks and stuff. I'm not sure if you can pull up the debug screen during it, but it's something that I can test. I'll definitely consider that. That might be the way to go. Yeah, because you can't break blocks and stuff, right? You can bribe them with flesh of other players. Yeah. I only have to run faster than you. All right, right, Sage. I was thinking for each season of this. Exactly, yes. I was thinking for each season of this, I would invite on so many contestants, and then at the end of the season, I would have some sort of, if I could arrange it, working out everybody's schedules. I know from Buffooncraft that scheduling is a nightmare. But trying to get the contestants all together and have them do some grand maze all together or something would be hilarious. Or maybe have partner events where you're having two players, two contestants running the maze together. Something like that. I don't know. You just made me think of that now. You can pull up debug, so I don't know. The debug screen. Yeah, but I think, I get the notion that might be too advantageous, but I'm thinking, really, who's going to have time to do that? Really, I mean, yeah, you can hit a key and pull it up, but reading it, and does it really help you? Can you instantly put that to use? Or Maybe you could tell north, south, east, and west. Maybe it can help you get through the maze a little bit. Not really sure. Maybe versus map, or where there are two mazes with buttons make one maze worse than the other. Or now I've played enough Minecraft games now, thanks to Cyclopsalops and Pleasant Player, where they have things like you can either randomly or by design teleport each other to each other's locations. You can switch. So you can be running, you could be just about ready to die, and then boom, switch. So your opponent dies instead of you. We've played games like that before, and they are hilarious. Yeah, so there's one game, I forget what they call it, but Pleasant Player, Cyclopsalops, and I played it, where you just spawn in a map, and then there's a countdown timer. And the timer is counting down. You don't see the timer. You just know that you have 10, 20 seconds. And then the map will randomly switch your positions. And so what we do is we try to set traps for each other. Right? And so you know you have 20 seconds to set a trap, right? And it's so funny. Oh my God, is it? All I can remember is Pleasant Player like shrieking through the whole map. It's then sometimes you get too involved in building like these really elaborate traps and you run out of time and it's like the trap doesn't do anything. This might be a little interesting, this one here. Let's scroll through a few more. Now look at this one. This one's kind of cool. Got a body of water here, some mushroom islands there. You've got another one right there. It looks like mushroom islands. You know, one thing I'm noticing with these 1.21 maps, mushroom islands everywhere. Mushroom islands used to be very, very rare, but I don't know about you, but it looks like there's a lot of them now. Am I wrong? Or it seems every seed I'm pulling up for 1.21 has many. Look at the distribution here. Now remember, some of these are submerged. They're under the water too by about 1 or 2 blocks. So some of them don't break the surface, but this is a pretty interesting map. Look, we've got water here. We've got water here. We've got a nice warm ocean over here. This has a lot of water in it. What would be really interesting though is to have just a gigantic ocean, something that's, let me see here. We would have like 6 kilometers wide or something. That would be really cool. But again, I don't know if there's new constraints over biomes now. Like, is there a setting on here that I have set for small biomes versus large biomes? Let's make sure. Biome height, surface, highlight biomes, grid lines, terrain. No, there isn't. But that is a setting that you can set when you generate a world, right? You can set the biomes, large biomes to small biomes. I'm wondering if this is a default. Like, is this a medium-sized biome setting? I'm not sure. It seems like the biomes are very, very small in this. That sounds funny. Nebs, it's hilarious. It really is. Those games with Cyclopsalops and Pleasant Player are just nuts. Okay, those of you who are viewing right now are in the ad break, for which I apologize. Those of you watching the VOD afterwards, of course, do not have to suffer the breaks of the ads. So I'm not going to comment on a whole bunch of worlds and stuff right yet until... Okay, we're back. Good. This is kind of interesting. We have a good one here and a good one there. But again, you know, I would like to see just a giant inland sea. That would be cool. And again, I invite the viewers. Yeah, like this. This is pretty good. It's pretty good here. Even though parts of it are frozen here, but right in and around here, this is good. This is some good stuff. And let me see. We have the... Let me get the seed number in view there so the stream title isn't covering it. There we go. Yeah, this one's pretty interesting. It's got a big old body of water. If this weren't frozen, it would be even better. But again, you know, I can always tweak the biomes too. But this has some pretty big patches of ocean in it. I'll try not to scroll at a nauseating rate. Yeah, like, look at this whole system in here. That's going to make a good map, I think. Now, I could keep panning and panning and panning through these maps, but you know what? It's easier just to generate random ones and just kind of keep it in this area, like right about here. And remember, I can move the spawn anytime I want, right? So this one's not too shabby. Let's get the seed number in view there. Again, you know, the event area, the spawn would be in this frozen part. I could move it out of there, though. I could bring it over to here. But you have this big body of water up here. That's kind of nice. See what happens if we pan around. Just in the local area. This is a pretty big ocean area. Again, it's the oceans that we're really interested in here. Yeah. Okay, this isn't too shabby. This is all right. I think we can do better, though. I think we can do better. And again, you know, if off stream you guys find decent seeds that you'd like to suggest, like Nebs did, you know, you can type them into the brainstorming channel on the server, on the Discord. I'm not sure what time I started the stream, but it looks like I'm an hour and 8 minutes into it, so I'm going to switch to standing mode regardless. Thank you, moderator Nebs, for putting the Discord link up there. It's good to have Nebs back. Nebs is back, everyone. I cannot wait until the community server is back up and running so I can build with all of you guys again, because that's what I really miss. Oh, look at this one. This one's actually pretty cool. If you zoom up on this, right, you've got this maybe could be the event area on this little peninsula, and then look at the way that the ocean is distributed around it. And it's got some mushroom features in it that we could possibly use, but it's got a lot of water around it. All right, if we zoom out, let's take a look at the neighborhood here. But you can see what I mean about the distribution of water versus land. It looks very, very uniform to me. Like, all I think of is the universal background radiation map when I look at this. You're welcome, Streamer Thunder. Oof, I definitely want the community server back. I've got an itch to scratch. Uh-oh. And then Nebs is saying, look, a giant Africa ocean. Yeah, I guess it kind of looks like that a little bit, right? Right about in here. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let me see. The seed is up there. That's pretty cool. This one's got a little bit of an ocean around it here. You know, it's got this piece here, some bits around there. If I zoom out, what does the neighborhood look like? I don't know. Has map configuration changed? Seems like that to me. Like here, we've got quite a bit of water distribution here, right? We've got a pretty big body of water here. Got another one here. Got some in around here. Got a big one in the south, right down there. You know, sometimes you could do things like this, and you could just get the ocean variants like this. And you could do something like this and it's not as distracting if you're interested in a particular biome. Cold ocean. Lukewarm ocean. And, you know, you can do something like that. And you could just focus right on the biome in which you are interested in. And that, you just get everything, right? A little bit, yes. It's like looking at clouds and seeing bunnies and stuff. I never grew out of that. There's a particular name for that psychological phenomenon when you see, especially like faces, but when you see shapes and stuff in what are supposed to be random patterns. There's a particular name for that. Nebs is probably going to Google that. Now this is kind of cool. There we go. Getting the seed number, making sure that's in view. And then zooming in on this. Look at this. Now, it looks like spawn is on this little island here. Now, we're not seeing any mushroom islands, but we could always put those in. Or we could make like this into a mushroom island and stuff. We have this big warm ocean, so you're going to be surrounded by those beautiful coral reefs and stuff. Looks like it's pretty big. This ocean area from north to south, that's negative 4,000 to, let's say this is positive 3,000. So it's about 7 kilometers long, and it looks like it's about 1.5 kilometers wide, just about. That's a pretty big body of water. So maybe you could do like maybe 1, 2. Maybe you could put all 3 of them like north to south in there. But I'm thinking I wouldn't like one to be visible from the other, one location to be visible from the other. So I don't want them that close to each other. So that might, and that's just for aesthetic reasons. I'm not really concerned with like gameplay problems in that. You know, I'm just thinking aesthetically it would be cool if you didn't see the locations. That's That's kind of cool. Get this big body of water right here. You've got another one right off to the side. Seeing familiar objects in patterns and otherwise random or unrelated objects or patterns is called, I think it's paraidolia. Is that how you say that? It's a form of apophenia, which is a more general term for the human tendency to seek patterns in random information. Everyone experiences it from time to time. That's straight from the Googles. Thank you, Nebs. Nebs is back, everyone. Default you wrote. You're welcome. All right, this is kind of cool. I can't believe I dropped the ball on updating the server to the new IP, though. Oh, thunder. Really. But our schedules have all been thrown awry. Now, this is kind of interesting. We got a lot of water here. We got some frozen stuff going on up there. You know, again, I could change that biome up there if I wanted to, but, you know, you could maybe have some stuff in around here, some stuff down here, but I don't know, it's kind of narrow, right? At least it strikes me that way. You know, it's like, why can't this entire thing here be one big ocean? But who knows? When I generate the map, even though I use that seed, I can, remember, I can spawn, I can put in the option for large oceans, right? So, large oceans, large biomes, right? So we'll get large oceans. And I'm actually sitting at my computer for once. I haven't sat at my desk since April. Wow. Would people with Fantasia have greater difficulty with this, or is it unrelated? I think it's unrelated. You think, though, that they would be better at math, though. That would have been a good PhD thesis study paper for math education. But alas, at the age of 60, that ain't going to happen. So, not for me anyway. Someone else is going to have to do that. Let me see. Do we have a Tinder situation going on with our maps here? Nope. Nope. Left swipe. This one is kind of interesting, right? Got quite a bit of ocean through here, in and around here. Maybe like configuration 1, configuration 2, configuration 3. Maybe something like that. Let's get the seed in view there. Not related. Yeah, Nebs has it. Of course, everybody does to some degree, right? So. I am scrolling through these kind of fast. Okay, there's a big ocean area. Great Big Sea. One of my favorite Canadian bands. One of my favorite bands, period. I don't know. I can't help but think like this is set for small biomes. Thanks for the clarification. Like, this has a pretty big body of water, even though it has this peninsula jutting out into it. But, you know, I can't help but feel that this is somehow set for small biomes. But I do think that this is a pretty big body of water here. Make sure the seed is in view, the seed number. Check around the neighborhood here. I thought that ChunkBase had a setting for this, like large biomes, small biomes. I thought... Expand your terrain. Grid lines. Grid lines is helpful. Even though from here it's like, oh my god, that's awful looking. But, you know, occasionally if I want to see how big a body of land is or water, I can just flick that on and it helps with the measurement. Oh, that's just the manual zoom or the non-mouse zoom, the Java zoom. I don't know, that might be interesting. That's a pretty big body of water. Got a couple other ones around. But you know what? So far, other than the one that Nebs had suggested, I'm not really seeing anything that's really, like, knocked me out here. I haven't been excited by anything I see, so maybe this is not the way to go, right? In other words, this is usually more fun than this. But I'm just having the feeling like this is constrained to very, very small biomes. I can't see pictures, which is why if I want to make something in Minecraft, I have to find inspirational photos that I kind of copy, but then slightly change. Thunder, it is almost 8 p.m. I'm going to have to go, sadly. I will see everybody later. Night, night. Nebs. Yes, please go get some rest, Nebs. It's been an absolute delight to have you pop in. All of us have really enjoyed it. Looking forward to more. But tell Draken and everyone, Tiny One, I said hi. And go get yourself some rest. Me lately, now that I'm not on, you know, a work schedule dictated by others, I don't really care what time of day or night I sleep. Any sleep is good sleep because I get so little of it. So if you're going to go get some sleep, go get it. I will be back next stream, and I will tell them. Bye. So, okay. Looking forward to it, Nebs. Looking forward to it. Random. Oh, wow. Okay, now here we have some big bodies of water. Look at this. We've got this huge body of water right here. We've got this very big one right there. We've got another one right here. Let's make sure that we get the seed number for this one. 149. That one starts with. Okay. In the positive integers, right? Let's just pan around the neighborhood here a little bit. Yeah, the interesting stuff looks like it's happening at spawn, which is not a bad deal. Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. here. I should try to sleep as well. Lurk. Okay, appreciate you, Sage. Hope you get that rapid eye movement. That's the good sleep. That's the good stuff. Looks like I have just a little over 30 minutes left of the stream anyway, so... But I may end the stream early too, you know, because I need to go update my server. I guess I should do that before I stream. Oh, yeah. They changed my IP. I remember that now during the stream. Something like this is okay, I guess, right? You got a little body of water there. But yeah, I think, one thing I have definitely noticed is that mushroom islands are everywhere now, or at least the biomes are. Remember, some of them could be submerged, and maybe a lot of them are actually. But the distribution is very uniform. Dear Mojang. What the heck? Well, one thing you could do is I'm not really interested in this for the. Oh, hey, look, here we go. See, I couldn't help but notice it felt like it was constrained to small biomes. Here we go. Look, if I do this, see, this changes everything now, right? In fact, this is zoomed out. Is it zoomed out all the way? For some reason, I can't zoom out more than that. That's a little weird. Let's see what happens if I go random. Can I? Yeah, that's as far out as I can zoom. Yeah, see, this is more of what I'm looking for here. I don't understand why I can't zoom out more, though. But these are some big old biomes. I mean, look at the width of this, right? We're at negative 9,000 on this shore. And if I go over to this shore, I'm at negative 22,000. So I'm just going to round that, and I'm going to say that's about 10 kilometers across. That's big. Like, we could easily fit all three of them right in here. So some large inland ocean, maybe some mushroom islands in there. This is a little bit more. Now we're cooking with gas, people. Yeah, that's exactly what I don't want. But maybe these bodies of water off here to the west, to the northwest, and the west down here, and a little bit to the southwest. And look at this. Look at how huge that is. And look at the mushroom islands in there and stuff. That is a... Yeah, like we have all of that water. We have all of this water. This is all warm ocean in here. It's going to look beautiful. This here is about 17,000. This is about 27,000. So that's about 10 kilometers long. Yeah, see, now we're doing this right. I thought that there was some setting for large biomes, but I just forgot it's in here. There we go. Yeah, something like this is very, very usable. Even though I don't like this in the spawn. But again, I can always move spawn. Right? Like, we could move spawn to this piece of land between these two large bodies of water. Right? We could always move spawn right to here and use this peninsula. Wow. Something like this isn't too bad. You get this big body of water in the north and then to the northwest. And then you have all of this in the south. Mama hoo-hoo. I'm just looking around the neighborhood here. This might have a little bit of potential. Look at this. I like this. This is pretty good. Again, and nothing that's really knocking my hose off here. Hose is socks, okay. Just, got to clarify some of the Scottishisms there. Wow. Look at this thing. That is a huge body of water there. There's some even bigger bodies of water. Like, look at how wide this Mushroom Island is here. Down in the very lower left-hand corner here, when my mouse is on the map, you can get more accurate coordinates, right? So my X here is, I'd say, let's round it to negative 8,000. And then over here, oh, I just moved my spawn. Over here is maybe, oh, hey, you know what you can do? You can do something like this. Or maybe. There it is. Like 8,000. That you could say is, let's call that negative 4,000. So that's about 4 kilometers across. That's a big Mushroom Island, people. That's big. That's a big one. That's even bigger. That's the same one. Thunder, please. I've looked at too many maps. They're all merging together in my mind. Look, here's a spawn that is right at 0, 0. Right at 0, 0. Wow. Or very close. Yeah, look, it's right on it. That spawn is right at 0, 0. That's a rare one. Wow, you've got some pretty... You got a big central landmass there, but it's surrounded by... up. What have we here? Oh, I like this. I like this. I like this indeed. Let's make sure that we get a clear view of the seed number on this. There we go up there. Yeah, look at the size of that Mushroom Island down there. Let's say negative 400, 2,800. So that's what, 22.2 kilometers wide? It's pretty big. That's pretty good. Got your spawn there. You've got 3 big bodies of water there. Could put your spawn a little bit over here. Could move it over this area on this landmass. And then you would have a different configuration in each one of those bodies of water there. That'd be kind of cool. That's not too shabby. Get these three big bodies of water here. Again, you could move your spawn over here. That's a little bit more centrally located. You've got this smaller body of water there. Wow. Okay. This is pretty cool. Look at all of that water. Again, you know, maybe not too much in the way of big mushroom islands. They look like they're more over in this part of the map. But we could always insert where we need to. Right? Look at this location, for example. Very, very cool. And then just right around this piece of spawn land itself, right? You've got, well, it's a little frozen over there, but this is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I have a good feeling about that. Now, so far though, none of them are really blowing me away though. Like, I haven't said, yes, this is the one. You know, I mean, I haven't. Although, the one that Neb showed me is pretty intriguing, though. Maybe like, I wonder what the large biomes version of that seed is that she sent me. Let's, you know what, we could try that out. Let me scroll back in the chat here. There it is. I wonder what the large biomes version of that is like. Negative. I think it's, what was it, 630? 290. 754. 766. 181303. This is the large biomes version of the one that Nebs was showing us. And I think because it's large biomes, it kind of wiped out her island. Yeah. The regular version of this one is much better. All right, so let's look at this, for example. Oh, look. If that weren't frozen there, look at that massive Mushroom Island biome right there. And look how big this body of water would have been. I mean, I can change that too, but I can use World Edit or something to change that. Or even just Creative Mode would change that. But it'd be a lot of selection and a lot of cleanup afterwards. And it would, I don't know if I want to be bothered with that. This is kind of nice. This is a pretty big body of water here. And again, you know, we can change some of these, right? We have Mushroom Island here. I could change some of these into Mushroom Island. Yeah, I could do that. Oh, this has some big water area. Right around spawn. Spawn is right on that peninsula. Not very interesting water, but there's quite a bit around it. Just checking out the neighborhood here. Wow, look at the size of that. Negative 16,800. Negative 12,400. So that's going to be what? 4,400? 4.4 kilometers. It's pretty big. Not too far from spawn. Another big area over there. Plenty of room for the little baby zombies to run. That might be interesting. And again, though, I'm not like really excited. Just kind of, this one's okay. That one's all right. Ooh, that's a little interesting. Like this one here is kind of interesting. We got this big warm ocean here. We got some of these other smaller oceans around it. Right. You know what sucks about this is it doesn't have a back button. So if you blow past one that you thought was interesting, oh no! The cool thing is though, if I do this right, see the thing is it pulls it just out of range so you guys can't like really see it. But you know what? Let me try something. Yeah. See, hint, you can also drag and drop a level down here. Okay. I was hoping I could relocate some of these features so I can get the number. Oh, hey, you know what? The seed number I just noticed is right above the map. Duh. Okay. We're good. We're really, really good now. Okay, so I don't have to keep this showing. That way, if I blow past something, I can always catch the seed number right here as well. And what was I doing here? I had that like that. Right. I think I was doing this. Good. Wow. 12,000. About 18,000. This is about 6 kilometers wide here. Oh, you guys can't see that. This Mushroom Island here off to the east and slightly south. Really big. Seed number right up there. Guys, I can hear something going on in the other room. I'm going to do a quick be right back. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, sorry about that, but we had a delivery I had to go tend to. This is an interesting map. Yeah, and here I shut off my camera so you guys could see the Big Mushroom Island. All I had to do was scroll up. Thunder! All right. Yeah, that was an interesting one. This one's kind of interesting. Look, we've got some big bodies of water here. Got some warm oceans. Yeah, look at that. Colossal Mushroom Island. 14,800. 18,900. So what, 4,100? About 4 kilometers wide. All right, let's not get nauseating with the camera panning here. Or the map scrolling, I should say. We have about 9 minutes left of the stream. Then I'll log off and I'll update my darn server. This one's a little promising, right? We've got some big bodies of water down here. Another one right there. A little bit more over to the west. Wow, Big Mushroom Island here. Part of it's frozen though, but eh. Again, I could build this in a flat world, and I had considered it, but, you know, you want it to be interesting too, right? And I would have to build a whole bunch of interesting terrain. Well, why do that? Just let the map generate it. Yeah, some of these are getting a little bit better now. Like, look at the size of that body of water up there. This one over here. Some of these over here. We got some frozen bits down there, but... the neighborhood's looking good. Okay, I guess... look, this is saying you're spawning here. Do you spawn in the water? I mean, there's got to be... maybe there's just a slight amount of error involved in trying to predict these maps, right? And so maybe the spawn is on that tiny little rock right there. I have yet to find a map where you actually spawn in the water itself. I should pan down here a little bit, right about there. If I could see something like there was a landmass right about in the middle and then it's just surrounded by blue, that would be the map. That's kind of close. Deep cold ocean right there. Okay. This is kind of close. What does the neighborhood look like? Like, look at this big warm ocean here. You've got this ocean here. Got some other big oceans around. I need at least three really big bodies of water. That's interesting. That's an interesting one. Yeah, similarly with this one. This one's a little less interesting. Well, Maybe up north, though, we have some stuff going on, right? Yeah, like you look at this system of bodies of water down here. This is really big. We could change like this island or these two little islets over or something. We could build the whole thing right on there. I tell you, I can't wait to get this thing built and then get some of you on here to run it. Kumakwa has reserved the very first run, though. Very first run will feature fellow streamer Kumakwa. And then it's whoever's first come, first serve after that. And that's a little interesting over there in the west, but again, not tickling my fancy. Here, over in the west and in the north, you get some interesting areas here. This is a pretty interesting ocean right here. And then this one up here. That's looking pretty good. We got a lot of water surrounding this one. Big old Mushroom Island right over there. Got a big warm ocean here. There's some Mushroom Island features. Got some bodies of water surrounding that. One thing I would like to do is today, I would like to make a decision today, though, even if it's off camera. And then if I do, I'll announce it on the Discord. Wow. There's a lot of water around us here. Although bits of it are frozen. This has potential. So, seed number right up there. You know, and of course, these are just like to get the interest going. Once you log into these servers and you're actually on the ground or in the water or above the ground in the air, and you're looking at these, you know, it makes it, it changes your perspective. So what may have been like a really mediocre map, looking at it here in Chunkbase, you know, could be the map, you know, if you just log on to it and you look at the features, right? So there is that aspect of this scrolling and searching through maps. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. We have that going on in the north, that going on in the south and slightly west. Get this little bit in the east. I know I'm scrolling through these kind of fast, but when I don't see blue in the center, I just go past it. Like this one, I'll pause to look at here. We've got some deep ocean. Some ocean surrounding it. I don't know. Again, you know, it's okay. It's all right. Not really getting my goat. Something like this. Got these three bodies of water around it. Got this one up in the northwest. This one in the southwest, and this one immediately east. It's kind of cool, I guess. Each has like a little Mushroom Island biome in it. Got that in the north, and that in the east. That in the south. Surrounding neighborhood's a little interesting. big old mushroom island there off to the west. Negative 13.7. Negative 9,100. Nine is going to be what, 4,600? That's big. 4.6 kilometers wide. That's pretty big. I think the biggest one we've seen is about 6 kilometers wide. That's big for a mushroom island. Yeah, like look at the size of this body of water in this one. It's not at spawn. Again, I can always move the spawn. I'm not really fixated on that. But this area up here, this is kind of interesting. This is a big old body of water right here. I mean, I might be able to build all 3 configurations in that. So, of course, making sure I note the seed here. Just above the window here on the upper left. Yeah, this one's got a lot of water around it, but it's all broken up, right? Okay, it is time to wrap up the stream. Yeah, it is. We're at our 2nd hour. Switch on back to the camp scene. Thank you, everybody, for logging on today and hanging out with me. It was really cool to see you guys and here. JMO Smo, thank you for the stream, brother. JMO, thank you so much for dropping by, my friend. Always good to see you. Our mutual friend PC and Coffee happens to be down in Florida right now at Disney World. Mrs. Thunderhand is a DVC member, and at the end of the year, if we haven't used the points, her points, then she'll usually sell them. But in this case, we heard that they were going down there. They're our friends IRL, and so we set them up with a place down there in one of the hotels in the park. And so they're down there for a week. So it's really cool to be able to help them out for a change. He helps me out a lot with my PC stuff and everything because he is the man in that regard. So really cool. So JMO, you logging on just reminded me of that as well. So, okay. Well, there's an ad break in progress for you guys. I'll set up the raid while I'm doing that. And we'll see who's following right now. Well, the man himself, Kumakwa, is streaming right now. All right, let's set up that raid for him. There is the raid message in the chat. You are invited to copy and paste that into the chat if you would like to join us. And I always advise or encourage the viewers to join us along on the raid, even if you can't stay for the entire stream. If you could just drop in, say hi, and if you feel so inclined, maybe drop a follow, some bits, some subs, that would be really cool. Set up the raid itself. And the raid to Kumakwa is counting down. Family-friendly viewers, just be advised, Kumakwa does have a mature rating on his stream. It's mostly just for some language here and there. Super funny guy, super funny stream, a variety gamer streamer. Some shared community, so you'll know some people there. We do some co-streaming stuff every now and then too. Funny guy. And with that, I'd like to just remind everybody that we do this Generation stream every Wednesday, usually from noon to 2. We were a little bit later today with some IRL stuff. Our next stream will be Friday. That'll be 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be a Buffooncraft Season 5 server stream. And that will be its thing. I'll explain that during that day. I'll let you guys log on. And then let me see, Sunday, it'll be 4 to 6 p.m. That'll be Kachi time. And I don't know what Kachi wants to stream on Sunday, but we were talking about streaming some more music composition stuff that he was doing. And I think I have a setup that's a little bit better. Even though the last one we did was pretty good, this one should be a little bit better. So with that, everybody enjoy the rest of your afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you happen to be. Join us next time. We are raiding out to Kumakwa now. Bye for now, everyone.